Hello ladies, hello gents. Thank you for being here today. My name is Mira Skender and you know that I do not take your presence here for granted. On today's video, we are going to be talking about how to rebuild self-trust, and that is the ultimate form of self-love. When we talk about self-love is something that people are scared to talk about. I don't get it. Because if you do not love yourself, it is very difficult for you to really love another person, because there is no way that you can pour out from an empty cup. Self-love is something that we talk about all the time, but we don't take out the time to actually put it into practice. Shout out to all my parents out there. If you are a parent, you know for a fact that raising kids is no joke, especially when you have multiple kids, because all of them come with their own personality. All of them come with their own needs and wants. All of them are always expecting one thing or the other. They could call you like 1,000,000 times a day and you have to answer 1,000,001 times a day. These people will pick on little things, especially the things that you say and you don't do them.
And they'll bring it up in the most awkward environment.
I found myself trying to hold my son accountable, trying to hold him to the highest self-esteem. But when I look in the mirror, I say to myself, hypocrite, 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 hypocrite. That's what you are. How dare you tell the child to do something or set expectations for a child that you know for a fact that you're falling short in that department? Because you cannot hold them to a higher standard, because you know for a fact that you yourself, you're not able to hold yourself accountable to start things and finish them. And that is why we don't trust ourselves, because we've been telling ourselves things over and over and over again and we don't follow through. Home where I tell my kids that anything that you start, make sure you finish it. If you're doing the dishes, make sure you finish it. If you're mopping the floor, make sure you finish it. If you're sweeping, cleaning up your room, whatever thing that you want to do, if you're studying, you see you're going to study this, make sure that you follow through, because it is very important that whatever you say that you will do, you make sure that you do it, because that's how you build self-trust. That's how you build self-confidence. And because I became aware of the fact that I am expecting something that I don't give, I'm expecting something that I don't do, I became very conscious of what I say to myself, of the self-talks that I have. The most important conversation is not a conversation that you have with somebody else. It is a conversation that you have with yourself. That is what makes you, that is what shapes you, that is what forms your today and your tomorrow. We are always very quick to tell people that we don't trust them. We are very quick to point out the things that they have done wrong. We are quick to point out the things that they said that they would do and they did not do. Sometimes when we say these things to people, we feel some form of superiority. We get some satisfaction in pointing out those things that they were going to do. And the reason that we don't trust them is because they have said these things and they have not followed through. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself if you trust you? How many times have you said you would do that thing and you didn't do it? You said you were going to go to the gym. You didn't. You said you're going to start that business. You didn't. You said you're going to do this. You're going to meditate. You would say your affirmations, but you didn't. You're going to take your spiritual life seriously, but you didn't. And that's why any other thing that you're saying to yourself, you're not able to follow through, or you don't even trust that you will be able to do it because of all the past experiences that you've had with you. Understand that other people are only seeing highlights of you. You are the person who has experienced everything about you. You're the person who is living with you. You are the only person who has ever heard all the lies that you have told. So before you start telling another person that you don't trust them because of what they said and they didn't follow through, make sure that you're the kind of person who says things and you follow through. And because you don't trust yourself, you don't have the confidence to show up for who you were supposed to be. You're not able to maximize your full potential. This is something that most of us, we struggle with. And most times when we don't trust ourselves, we put ourselves in a position where we no longer have self-esteem. You don't have self-esteem because you feel like you're not good enough. And when you start feeling like you're not good enough, you start having all these negative self-talks. When you have negative self-talks, it could spiral down to other things and make you paralyzed to the things that you're actually supposed to be doing because you're focused on the thing that you were supposed to do that you did not accomplish, on the life or the years that you have wasted. But then if we can be able to just reflect and figure out why we do the things the way we do them, then we can make adjustments. That way we don't fall into the same patterns that we've always been accustomed to. Let's do this. Pick one thing and do it consistently for the next 30 days. See how you feel about it at the end of these 30 days. If it is something that you can keep, you keep it. If it's something that you know for a fact that doesn't make you feel good or doesn't move you towards your goal, then you can dump it. But then you know that you're able to say something and do it. That's you challenging yourself. That's you telling yourself that you can do it. Because if you can do one thing for 30 days, then you can do another thing for just 1 week, 2 weeks, or even more. Normally, when you're starting something new, it can be very difficult or challenging in the first 3 days. Say, for example, if you're fasting, it is very difficult for the first couple of days, but after you get used to it and it just comes to you naturally for the remainder of the time. Keeping promises to yourself is a peak of self-care, and this requires discipline. Disciplining yourself to be consistent against all odds. This is very, very crucial for you to be able to have that mindset shift from where you were yesterday to where you are going. Because yesterday is gone. The present and the future is what matters, because the present is what stands between yesterday and tomorrow. So you have to pay attention to what you're doing now and what you're adding to yourself now. Is this going to move you towards your goal further, or is this going to take you back to the past? You want to make sure that you're having traction. You want to make sure that you're moving forward. And in order for you to do this challenge, in order for you to make that shift, you have to learn to eliminate distractions. I don't know about you, but I found out that to-do lists don't work. I have a friend of mine, she swears by to-do lists, but they don't work for me. I realized that soon enough. Instead, what I found out that works better, that can easily eliminate distraction, is setting time blocks. When you set time blocks on your calendar, you know that every time is accounted for. Yes, I understand that sometimes there may be emergencies that will take you away from the things that you have set out to do. But if you know that from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. I'm supposed to be doing this thing, and then something happens that you're not able to do this thing at that time, then you will be able to squeeze out time or find out some other time to get it done. Because you know that yesterday or earlier at this time I was supposed to be doing this, I didn't get to do it. Let me find time and allocate it for that thing. And that way you're able to move the needle forward to whatever you're planning to achieve. Because when I set to-do list, I pile up stuff and then I do them all at once under pressure. Then I get easily exhausted because I've burnt out time doing things that are not helping. Then now I just want to finish what is on my to-do list so that I can have something to tick at the end of the day, and that doesn't necessarily work. If you're like me, you love memes. I am somebody that I could stay all day watching memes and funny videos. Because these things be cracking you up like crazy. I'll be looking at my phone all the time. Shoop, shoop, shoop. You'll think that I'm doing something on there. No, I'm just looking at memes. I'm just looking at funny stories and funny skits, and that take up all your time. So what I do is that on my calendar, I don't only create time for the things that are going to move the needle forward. I create time that I can watch my skits and my funny videos in peace. That way I'm not feeling guilty that I have not done the things that I need to do and now I'm watching something. And that has really helped me become more productive. There is a misconception that people have that the opposite of distraction is focus. The opposite of distraction is not focus. The opposite of distraction is traction. Distraction is anything, it doesn't matter what, even your kids, that take you away from the things that you need to do. While traction is what moves you towards that goal. So you want to make sure that you're having traction throughout your day. That way you know you're moving forward, you're not being stagnant or going backwards. The next thing that you want to do to rebuild self-trust is set boundaries. Boundaries are so important in your life. Because when you set boundaries, and when you set boundaries, make sure that the people that you love, the people around you, understand those boundaries. Because some people think that when you set boundaries, especially in friendships, they believe that when you set boundaries, what you're trying to do is sever or break that relationship. But these boundaries are like guidelines that will actually build your relationship. Because when people have boundaries, you're able to deal with them differently. You're able to deal with them the way they want to be treated. Because say, for example, that you have a relationship with someone, right? And then they barge into your space and they make comments or they say things that you really don't align with. This is going to disturb your peace. This is going to get you angry or get you out of character. But then if they had understood your boundaries, then they would not make those statements, because they know for a fact that this is not something that she aligns with. What boundaries will do is that they will protect you and they will give you the ability to have meaningful connections. And that's what everyone is looking for. On this journey of regaining or rebuilding self-trust, you need to recognize first your triggers and then your patterns. What is it that triggers you most? What has happened in your past that if it happens again, or if you see it coming, it gets you out of character or it takes away your peace? You have to know all those things. You have to know the patterns that have kept you small, the patterns that have made you paralyzed, the patterns that have made you not be able to go where you're supposed to be. Because when you're able to know all those things, you're becoming one with yourself. You're becoming true with who you are. And then you can make adjustments accordingly. The next thing you want to do is spend time alone. Nowadays, we don't spend time alone. It is very important that you take a step back out of the chaos of the world and make sure that you understand your person, you understand your being, you know who you are and whose you are. Because when you spend time alone, you train yourself to have the ability to be one with your soul. When you shut out all those noises, you get in touch with your thoughts, you get in touch with your desires, your passion, your dreams, your vision. Who are you? What is it that I want to be? Who am I now and what can I do to get to where I need to be? What are the things that bring me happiness? What are the things that make me sad? Because when you're talking to yourself, you're able to understand your being. In that same quiet space, in that same state of being alone, you get in touch with God, your faith, love, and everything that makes you who you are. Know yourself, know your truth, inspire love, starting with self-love. Thank you so much for watching to this video. Please don't forget to hit that subscription button. Also hit the notification bell, that way you know when we have new uploads. Share this video with a friend and make sure that you watch this other video that is talking about the habits that have kept you poor. Have a fab one and stay blessed, guys. Bye.